Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome to another episode of DesignTech, my own custom mod pack. And in today's episode, we're going to be doing some work on the big reactor, among some other stuff. Now, since the last episode was recorded, a lot has gotten done. Now, there was a live stream on Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. There was a live stream. And that's where all of that stuff happened. So if you missed it, I do have the stream archived on Twitch, and I will put a link to it in the video description so you can go back and check it out if you missed the stream and catch all the stuff that got done. So I'm going to quickly run through what happened. So first and foremost, we did complete the activation ritual. It turns out I did lose my backpacks. At the end of last episode when we got wrecked by the wither. I did lose my backpacks and everything in them. So I remade all my backpacks. I did make an ender backpack in case something like that happens again. My most important stuff will be stored in here. I completed the division ritual to activate the sigil. I got myself an angel ring. And then I started working on this. So you'll notice this actually was done off the live stream right here, this capacitor bank. But this, how do you explain a capacitor bank? It's like a giant battery, and that's the easy part to understand. Now the thing is, with Ender IO conduits, you cannot connect Ender IO conduits of different types. So for example, if I go into my gray backpack and try and pull out one of these 5,000 RF per tick conduits, you'll notice it does not connect to this 20,000 one. So what I'm using the capacitor bank for here is basically to allow branching and connection of different types of conduits. This was done off the live stream. So I've got my super conduit coming directly off the reactor, which goes here, and then there's one line that runs over that way to something that we'll go look at in just a moment. And then there's another line that comes down underneath the floor here to all these machines and down to our Enderman farm, etc., etc. The other thing that I have over here is this. It's not much to look at, but I got an ender quarry. This was done on the live stream, so if you want to see how this was all set up, feel free to check out the archived live stream. But basically, it's just given me tons of resources. And I don't know what the exact area is right now that it's working on, but it's pretty big. It's probably 500 by 500 blocks, maybe? Maybe not quite that big, but it's pretty big. So, what I want to do in today's episode is I want to do some work on our big reactor. Frankly, our big reactor right now, it is producing enough power, but it's not doing it very efficiently at all. And a lot of you mentioned to me that water, which is what's in here right now for our casing, is a lousy source of insulation. And that is absolutely true. And the reason that I used water is because it's available in huge quantities early in the game. And it's better than nothing. So that's basically why I used it to start out with. But now, we're at the point where we've got some decent resources going, and we don't really need to be using water anymore. So it's time to upgrade this and move on to something significantly better. And I will admit, I'm no expert on big reactors. I'm not the guy that you want to come to find the most efficient reactor layout and design and all that kind of stuff. But it was brought to my attention by you guys and through my own research that liquefied ender is an extremely good material for insulation. In fact, one of the better materials. So what we're going to do is we're basically just going to take this water and replace it all with liquid ender. Because how do you get liquid ender? Well, you melt down ender pearls in a magma crucible. And what do I have downstairs? An Enderman farm that produces mass quantities of ender pearls. So I don't I'm not worried about getting liquid ender. It's fairly easy for me to get at this point, and it will make a much, much better insulator than this water. So let me get this all swapped out, guys, and I will be right back with you once it's done. All right, guys, I am back, and we've got this all nicely filled up now with resonant ender. All right, that should be good. So now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and replace all of these casings right on top. We're basically going to rebuild the reactor so that it works. Just like so. And then here, we can just go ahead and drag this whole little bit around and patch it back up. There we go. Now it is back to a big reactor. It has been offline. I don't know the exact numbers that we were getting before, but I do know that with it putting out just under 10,000 RF per tick, my core heat was right up in here, and my casing heat was way up here as well, and it was using about 2 to 3 millibuckets per tick, or 0.2 to 3 millibuckets per tick of fuel. So let's go ahead and boot this baby up, and let's see what kind of numbers we get. Okay, casing heat and core heat are still pretty high, but it's producing about 15,000 RF per tick now. Instead, oh, that's right, it's going to have to fill up the capacitor bank. Oh, okay. Well, we're going to have to let it run at maximum capacity for a little while, which isn't really going to be a fair measurement, because before, it was running at about, I want to say every rod was at about 70... somewhere between 50 and 70% insertion, which means that it was only using about half, maybe, of its full potential. So let's go ahead, let this thing run for a little bit, and while that's going on, let's move on to some other stuff. So, one of the other things that I made in the live stream were some of these tools from Extra Utilities, specifically this builder's wand, and that is going to make building much faster, which is definitely a good thing. I also really need to get to work on an item storage system of some sort. I need something, and I do have a pretty fair amount of resources coming in now, especially with the Ender Quarry, so I'm thinking it might just be time to dig a little bit into Applied Energistics 2. This is the mod, if you're not familiar, that is famous for the ME system, which is basically kind of like a bank, if you will, from like an MMO, where you have one terminal that you can access, and it has access to basically everything in your inventory that you put into it. And you can search it, you can pull things out. It's kind of like if your storage system had NEI built into it. It's a great system if you're not familiar. So, we're going to dig into that just a little bit today. Now, I will fully admit that Applied Energistics is not a mod that I have really messed around with a whole lot. So, there may be some extreme derpiness going on in this episode, but we will find out. So, let's see. First of all, Applied Energistics 2. Let's take a look and see if there's some sort of book or in-game documentation. I'm guessing I'm not that lucky. Probably not. No. Okay, well, if I remember correctly, the first thing that you want to do is make a meteor compass, because some of you may have noticed a few of those meteors that are kind of strewn about the world that we're in. Well, they actually serve a purpose. So let's go ahead and make one of these, and let's see, we've got, right in here, we've got a couple of these presses. There are 4 of these presses all together. You find them in chests inside the meteors. They come in a skystone chest, which looks just like this. And you'll notice how close it looks to the skystone. And basically, you need all 4 of those presses before you can really get started. So I'm going to take the 2 that I've got, just so that I know which ones I actually have. And then we're going to go and we're going to take a nap because it's dark outside. That's what we're going to do. But then what we'll do is we'll leave off in search of some meteors and stuff, try and get ourselves some presses while our generator is out doing its thing. And we'll see what we can find. So, let's take a look here. First and foremost, let's fly on up to a safe height. Now that we have the angel ring and we can actually fly, this is going to be much, much easier. That's part of the reason that I wanted to get the angel ring so early. So you can see there's a meteor right here, which I believe, yeah, I've already explored that one, and I've already explored this one. Now, the meteors do not necessarily only appear on the surface. They are also found underground. So, that's something to bear in mind. Let's put away our lumber axe for now. And I think that should be fine. So, let's see. The compass is pointing me this way. Hopefully, it points... One thing that I'm not sure about is that I'm not sure if it points to meteors that you have already explored. If the chest has been taken out of them, I'm not sure if it will still tell you to go look. Because if so, that would be really not cool. Like this one right here. It's telling me, oh look, we found a meteor. Imagine that. This is one that I've already rated. So, that one's not doing me any good. Let's just continue flying, I guess, until the compass tells us there's another meteor closer to you. And the next one we find, odds are, it will probably be buried underground. So let's just fly for a little bit and see how far we gotta go. Oh. There's something closer. We're getting close. We're getting very close. Okay. Oh, I see it. It's right here. Although I don't believe that this is one that I've explored yet. So, let's crack into it. Now, the chest inside this thing is already looted. Okay, so I did already explore that one. But the chest inside those meteors is pretty much always located towards the center. It's pretty close. It's always either... someone told me that it's in the exact center of the meteor, but I don't think that's quite right. I think it's always near the center. And it is very, very difficult to see unless you are basically stopping to look at every item with Wayla to find out what you're looking for. So, let me do a little bit of flying around. Let me see if I can find myself another meteor, guys, and I will be back in just a moment. Hey, guys, I am back, and I just wanted to share this with you. Look at that terrain generation. Is that not absolutely gorgeous or what? Wow. Ooh. And the compass seems to have locked in on another meteor, and I'm guessing this is it right here. Nice. Okay. What do we got? Let's see. Let's tear this up. Here's the chest. Got 'em. There are 4, and we have all 4. Finally. So, let's get that and head back home. Let's take a look. How far did our journey take us? Not too bad, considering we're flying. We're all the way over here. That's not too bad at all. All right, guys, I'm going to fly home, and I'll be back in just a little while. All right, guys, I am back, and we are almost home. Look at this. We got like some marshes and wetlands, and then over here some plains, and oh man, A beautiful area. A truly beautiful area. I think we're almost home, aren't we? Oh, no, we weren't actually... Yeah, we are. This is home right here, I think. Yeah. Yeah, this is home right here. So if we go directly this way, that should be where home is. I do have a waypoint for it. I just don't have it turned on because I can look at the map and recognize terrain features, which is actually a very useful skill to have in real life if you are able to read a topographic map, which is one that shows all the elevation and contour lines and geographical features and all that kind of stuff. If you're able to read one of those, it could save your life someday. You never know. But let's take a nap. Now that we have all the stuff that we need, we should be in good shape. So I'm going to put my sky stone back in here along with the chests. I'll put that stuff over there. I'll put this here. We also have a deep storage unit now. That's also new, by the way. Forgot to mention that. Deep storage unit for storing massive quantities of cobblestone, because I'm sure that at some point I'm going to have to store massive quantities of cobblestone. Specifically right now. I already have large quantities of it. So, let's see. You I can't actually do anything with, so I'm just gonna junk you. Bye-bye. I'll put that in here. Compass I'll put back in there. Why are you spinning? Oh, just because it does that when it's not in your inventory, I guess? Okay. I thought for a second there was another meteor around here somewhere. So, let's go check on the reactor. Let's see how that's doing. Okay. This thing is almost done filling up. Almost. And as for fuel usage, it's not too bad. I'm putting out about 3 times the amount of power I was before. And I'm only using about maybe 1.5 times as much power or fuel, maybe twice. I don't know. Either way, it's not too bad, as this is definitely a bit more efficient than it was, although I doubt my design is the most efficient design. And frankly, you know what? As long as it generates enough power for my needs, I'm not too worried about how efficient it is. Because we're, messing around with the power gen and stuff like that, that doesn't really interest me all that much. So, as for applied energistics, we need an inscriber, which is this thing right here, and we also need fluix crystals. So, how do we get fluix crystals? Well, you drop 1 charged Certus quartz, 1 nether quartz, and 1 redstone dust into a puddle. Okay? So, redstone dust, quartz, and a charged Certus crystal. And, water? Do I have a bucket of water anywhere? What did I do with... Oh, no, I know where it is. We're good. Because I had that drum of water that I took out of the big reactor. So what we'll do is we'll just do it right here. Not the prettiest, but it will work. And a lot of this stuff is temporary. A lot of these machines, I'm just going to use them once and then not use them again for a while. So like this, for example. We can throw that in there. Throw that in there. And throw that in there. Give it a minute. Bam! We now have 2 fluix crystals, which is pretty cool. So now let's go ahead and make ourselves the next thingamajig from Applied Energistics, which is iron ingots. I need a piston. In fact, I need 2 pistons. Redstone. So, piston. We'll make 2 of those. We'll grab 2 slime balls. Well, actually, more than 2, but either way. There we go. And now that should be everything I need to make the inscriber, which is this thingy right here. And this is going to be quite important. Now, I don't know if this has a power requirement. I believe it does. Yeah, it requires AE, which is the power from Applied Energistics. So we'll have to deal with the power gen eventually. Let's also take a look at one other machine as well. Here we go, the charger. This is also going to be really, really important because it's going to allow us to turn normal crystals, normal Certus quartz, like these actually. These are blocks of Certus quartz. It's going to allow us to turn those into charged ones. And it's pretty easy to find the regular Certus quartz. It's really hard to find the charged Certus quartz, just naturally in the world. So, there we go. That should pop out in a minute and give us 2 more of those Fluix crystals. There we go. Beautiful. So, let's go make that charger. Here we go. If I can find it. There it is. And we'll make one of those as well. And then finally, I need to find some sort of power generation for AE2. Farming station. What options do we have? AE2 cable. I wonder if there's a way. There's got to be a way to convert RF into AE power. There has to be. That's all storage stuff. Wireless booster. Cells, storage cells, creative energy cell. Okay. So energy cells, I'm assuming. Oh, vibration chamber. There we go. That's the other thing you need. So we need an energy acceptor, which is annoyingly difficult to make, I must say. We should be able to make some of that, though. Let me get some resources together, guys, and I will be right back with you. All right, guys, I am back, and I've got the quartz glass that we need. So now we're going to try to make this energy acceptor. There we go. And then I think I've actually got an extra furnace just sitting in here. So the vibration chamber, there we go. This is the power generator from AE2. And all you do is put fuel in it of some sort of solid fuel. And then you can hook things up to it. Although how to actually do that I haven't figured out yet. But it generates varying amounts of power, and I'm not really sure where we want to put it yet. Let's take a look and see if we can find conduits. AE2 cable. I just want to make sure that I think it's the cable that I need. In fact, I'm almost positive it's the cable that I need right here. But it also doesn't tell me how to make it. Quantum link. Actually, isn't there... There might be some Applied Energistics stuff in Ender.io. Let's see. So we've got our conduits here. ME conduit and dense ME conduit. Ooh, that's expensive. That's very expensive. Maybe we'll hold off on that. In fact, you know what, guys? I think we've probably gotten enough done in this episode, more than I originally intended to anyway. So I think I'm going to take the episode and end it right here, do a little bit more research on Applied Energistics 2 in between episodes, because as I said before, I am no expert on Applied Energistics 2, and I'm kind of learning it here as I go, just like I did with Big Reactors. So, guys, if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I do appreciate it, and it really helps out my channel. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. There are links in the video description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching. and I'll definitely see you next time.